Alright, people, so I'm here with your Raw review. Thought the show was, I'd say it wasn't, like, as shitty as your normal Raw is. There was still some good shit on here, but at the same time, most of the shit still was garbage. So let's get into the review here. We have Rollins coming out to cut a promo to begin the show. Actually a good way to start the show. Not a fucking boring promo by Roman Reigns or Stephanie McMahon or the normal shit we see. It's, a fresh face in there. And he comes out there and you think he's a baby face. He's interacting with the crowd. He's smiling and shit. And then he comes out there, talks like a baby face for 5 minutes and then just turns it right around and, starts acting like a heel. I thought it was good. I really liked how he kind of changed it around there. Baited the crowd and shit. I thought that was good. He cuts a good promo too, talking, about how it's his ring and shit, and and then Reigns. I believe that's what he. There's so much shit on the show. It's kind of hard to remember everything, but I like the promo, and so then you get Reigns coming out, and of course, this is what I like about. What did Reigns do? What did your motherfucking champion do tonight? He didn't wrestle a match. All he did was come out there and stand in the fucking ring. At least have him cut a fucking promo, but no, they want to get him at as less promo time, as little promo time as possible, so they don't expose his fucking weaknesses. And what's his weakness? Everything's his weakness, but especially on the mic, he's garbage. So they want to, keep his mic promos, whatever the fuck, to a minimum. And, Reigns comes out, then he doesn't even talk. I don't even think he said one word. It's Rollins carrying the load because he actually knows how to cut a promo. On the other hand, you got Reigns who can't even fucking talk for his life. So then they make the match at Money in the Bank. Thought all in all, good promo, good way to start off the show. Then we have Zayn defeating Sheamus in just a boring fucking match. I gotta say though, they're doing qualifying matches this year for Money in the Bank, which I liked. I thought it was kind of dumb how they were just, oh, here's who's going to be in your Money in the Bank. Just going to, pick 7 guys out of a hat, and that's, at least, you're qualifying. You're actually wrestling to, be in the fucking match. I think that's how it should be done. You just shouldn't be placed in there by whoever the fuck wants you to be in there. At least you, qualify. So I like that aspect. I mean, it's not that big a deal, but little detail there. But this match was boring. I mean, Sheamus is a fucking shitty wrestler for the most part. And if you're going to have, most of the time, if you have a shitty wrestler and a good wrestler together on Raw, it's not going to be a good match. It's just there's not enough time, and it's just usually not a good match. And this was the result here. I'm going to give it 0.75 out of 5 stars. Just not a good match. But at least Sami Zayn won. That's all I gotta say. Sami Zayn wins, so it's great that he's gonna be in Money in the Bank and not that boring fuck Sheamus. Then we have the New Day coming out to cut a promo. They've been doing a lot of shit with the New Day. With the fucking last week it was a time machine. I thought that was kind of childish and dumb. This week they had a fucking cake. I think they should just kind of keep it a little bit more simple with the New Day. Just have them come out there and cut like a fucking 5-minute promo or a 10-minute promo. Don't fucking, get all these props. And, every once in a while, I think that's a good thing to have props. But I think it's also good to just let them go out there and cut a promo and be funny. You don't need a million fucking props. But, I just think it's kind of... it's kind of funny, though, how Big E had the cake, and, oh, are we going to fucking toss it on JBL's face, or Byron's? A little bit funny. But, just a little, that's kind of what I think, though, they should, I don't get it, it's like happy birthday to Raw. It's not Raw's birthday, it's the fucking 1200th episode. That's not a birthday, it's just a milestone episode number. I didn't really get that there. Why didn't they just put 1200th episode of Raw on the cake, not happy fucking birthday, when it's not even the birthday? The first episode of Raw was not fucking, I don't even know what date it is, maybe whatever, today. It's just a 1200th episode. It's not a birthday. Fucking dumb. But then we get the New Day defeating the social outcast, and this is what I talked about this in my, I believe my Extreme Rules review, how there's no tag teams to compete. You know, the New Day have been tag champs for forever now, which in one aspect I like because they're a good tag team, they're entertaining. But in the other aspect, it's because there's no other tag teams to give the belt to. They don't have any competition. There's no other good quality tag teams, really. I mean, maybe the Vaudevillains. You got Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy back now, but we haven't seen much of those two teams. So, I mean, in my opinion, there's only one legitimate tag team. And like I said, I like the New Day as tag champs, but like it just doesn't seem like there's that much competition for them. So, this is what I'm talking about. They face a social outcast. Just a boring, fucking pointless, throwaway, predictable match. 0 out of 5 stars here, and again, it just points at the cluster. You know how much of a clusterfuck the tag division's in. So yeah, I'm gonna give this match 0 out of 5 stars here. Then we have Big Cass defeating Bubba Ray Dudley. You know, I gotta say, Big Cass is not a good wrestler. You know, he's you know, he just says a little bit on the mic. He doesn't really talk. He's not good. He doesn't have that much talent. The only reason he's in this company is because he's always 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that. Yeah, I mean, he's fucking just because he's tall, he's in this company. He doesn't have any talent, really. I mean, Enzo Amore is the guy who kind of has, like, the mic skills of the group. So, and then on the other end, you got Bubba Ray Dudley, who's a fucking shitty wrestler. Combine these two together, and what do you got? You got a fucking 0 out of 5 star boring ass match. So there you go, people. That match was not good. Then we have another not good match with Cesaro defeating The Miz. I mean, they're just going through fucking, you know, kind of mid-card matches that nobody really gives a shit about, really. That aren't really going to impact anything moving forward. But I guess this one does, because it's a qualifying main event. Or qualifying Money in the Bank. You got Cesaro defeating The Miz. And again, just not really that good a match. Just a typical fucking boring ass match. Not many good moves. You know, typical moves. And I'm going to give this 1 out of 5 stars. But, you know, like I said, just like with the Sheamus and Sami Zayn match, at least Cesaro won. I was happy to see that. And, you know, Cesaro's he has that weird fucking tape put on his shoulder. I don't even fucking know if that shit's real or not. I don't even know if it fucking works. But it's like, I just get so pissed off when the wrestlers will spend the whole time, oh, he's really working on the elbow, guys. And he's putting the, you know, like, whoever will put the opponent in, like, boring fucking rest holds. Oh, he's really working on that shoulder. It's like, it's so boring. I hate when they fucking work, they're working the injuries. And I get, you know, that's what they would really do, you know, attack the injury. But it's just so fucking boring. So yeah, I'm going to give this match 1 out of 5 stars. Then we have Jericho defeating Apollo Crews. You know, Crews fucking debuted, I believe, the night after WrestleMania. Was there for a few weeks and then just fucking left. And now he's back. I mean, I just don't get what the fuck this company's doing. They debut Crews. Okay, you're going to, you know, obviously you kind of like Crews. You put him on the main roster. You have him go over a few jobbers. Okay, you got something in store for him. Nope, he just leaves for fucking like a month. Not on Raw. Like, what the fuck? So what was the point of having him beat all those jobbers for a few weeks? I'm just so confused by what this company is thinking. So this match was boring. I mean, holy shit, too. You know, this could be a problem. You know, I mean, like I said, I'll give him a break. It's only his first, you know, I haven't seen much of him. And I haven't seen him do this before, but Crews fucking botched that lion salt. You know, I assume he botched it because it looked like Jericho was supposed to miss when Crews kicks up and gets out of the way. Kip up, whatever the fuck you want to call it. That could have been very dangerous there, but luckily nobody got hurt. The match, like I said, it was just boring, kind of a typical fucking mid-card match here, so I'll give it a half star out of 5. And like I'm also so annoyed by Apollo Crews, always walking around with a smile on his face. I mean, it makes it seem like it's like this is a children's show, and it is a children's show. It's a PG show, but I mean, you got him walking around always smiling all the time. Yeah, you know, it's just so annoying. Then we have Charlotte cutting a promo here, and this was actually one of the high spots of the night. You know, I'm kind of fucking, you know, half watching this promo, half just zoning out. And, you know, I'm just expecting this to be a typical Divas promo. But then Charlotte fucking goes fucking off on Ric Flair, goes apeshit on Ric Flair, and you know it was great. I thought this was a great fucking segment. You had, you know, Charlotte just bashing Ric Flair. I mean, letting him have it, and great reactions too. You had fucking Ric Flair crying, great reaction. I mean, all in all, just a very great segment here. This is what I'm talking about. This company needs to do shit that's unexpected, like Seth Rollins returning. That was good. Today, Ric Flair or Charlotte going off on Ric Flair, something that was unexpected. I didn't expect it. You know, it was exciting. It made me want to actually watch the product instead of just zone out or go on my fucking phone. I mean, this was good. I really, really fucking liked it. And like I said, not only is this fucking shit that is you know, entertaining today, you're thinking what's gonna happen next week. You know, where's Ric Flair? Is he fucking, you know, is he in a fucking depression, or you know, is he going to be on Raw next week? Is he, you know, what the fuck's gonna happen? So this is exciting. Now, granted, they may fuck it up, but at least tonight it was exciting. I gotta say that. But the thing I also want to talk about, what the fuck is Dana Brooke? Who the fuck is Dana Brooke again? Like I keep saying, like Dana Brooke is just fucking standing in the ring with a ton of fucking cleavage. Like what the fuck is the point of having her? I don't fucking get it with Dana Brooke, but whatever. But yeah, that was a really good segment there. Then we have Ambrose defeating Ziggler in just an alright match. I mean, they you know, people always get all riled up about people like this wrestling because, you know, Ziggler or Ambrose, those kind of people are very much liked. Because they're from the indies, so therefore every match they put on is a great match. And they get a lot of fucking fangirls too with Ambrose and Ziggler. So with this match, I mean, they just kind of went through the typical moves. Like, oh, Ziggler hits a fucking super kick and then Ambrose does his little clothesline there. It's like, that's not a great... People always pop for that kind of spots. But, I mean, that's not really a great spot if you really think about it. I mean, that's just the wrestlers doing their typical moves. I mean, Ambrose always does that clothesline. Ziggler always does fucking super kicks. It's not really that something to get worked up about. Now, there was a few good spots, but not a ton. It was an okay match. 2.5 out of 5 stars. So, yeah, just not, you know, I hate how people always, you know, when you get 2 good wrestlers or 2 decent wrestlers or 2 guys from the indies, they always assume it's going to be a great match, and they always, you know, oh, it's a kick out at 2.5. Oh, that was such a great spot. We always see kick outs at 2.5. Then we have, I want to talk about this too. You had a fucking vignette for the fucking Shining Stars of the Caribbean. Why are they having fucking promos, vignettes for the Shining Stars of the Caribbean when they fucking debuted last week? I mean, what the fuck are they doing with this? I already explained how this is a fucking dumbass gimmick. Now they're fucking having vignettes this week when they debuted last week? Why weren't they on Raw this week if they debuted? Just don't fucking get it. Oh, come to Puerto Rico. I mean, why the fuck are they telling us to come to Puerto Rico? What the fuck is that going to do for their fucking wrestling careers? Nothing. They're in America. Why are they telling us to go to Puerto Rico? I don't get it at all. Like I said, they seem like fucking travel agents. They seem like fucking people putting on an advertisement for you to go to Puerto Rico. You know, you always see the commercials on TV. Oh, come to Sandals. Come to Jamaica. Now I'm watching Raw, and I'm thinking I have a fucking commercial that I believe the first time I actually saw this vignette, like a month or 2 ago, I actually thought it was an advertisement to go to Puerto Rico. I didn't think this was a gimmick. I mean, this is one of the worst gimmicks I've ever seen. Then we have AJ Styles coming out to cut a promo, and of course the first thing he's got fucking Reigns' dick all the way down his throat. Oh, Reigns is so great, he's better than me, whatever. Then you got, you know, them cutting a promo with Gallows and Anderson. And apparently they kind of break. Again, I kind of like this angle here because it leaves the door open to many options moving forward. So I like what they did there. Again, Granted, they may fuck it up, and they probably will because they always fuck shit up. But you know, it leaves the door open for, you know, opportunities that they could put on some good shit. So then we have Owens defeating AJ Styles in an alright match. You had some good spots in here. You know, nothing that was too overwhelming, too underwhelming. It was just, like I said, in the middle, just like Ambrose and Jericho was. And it was an okay match. You have Owens winning here, which I like because he's going to go on to Money in the Bank. I hope he wins. That would be fucking great if he wins it. Then we have Styles losing, which is okay because he loses to Owens, who's talented. And then he could fuck around and do a fucking program, whatever the fuck you want to call it, with the Bullet Club. So that's good. So I'm actually happy with the people that they put into this Money in the Bank. They're all pretty talented people. I'm very happy with it. I can't complain really with the people they put into it. Now, they did have some pretty shitty matches tonight. The qualifying matches weren't the best. But you did have, you know, Seth Rollins' promo was pretty good. And also the Charlotte promo was pretty good. You know, you had some good promos tonight, but the matches were just pretty shitty, pretty bland, pretty ordinary. But, so I'll give this show fucking 3.25 out of 10 stars because you had a couple of good things, I guess, but a lot of shit as well. And that's what you get with the fucking 3-hour Raw. A ton of fucking shit. Even if there's a few good things, there's always going to be a ton of fucking shit because they never try to put on good shit. It's just a ton of jobber matches usually. A ton of fucking lower mid-card matches or whatever you want to call them. A ton of matches nobody gives a shit about. But there you go, people. There's your Raw review.